This counseling session is for a class. It is not a real counseling session. Good afternoon, Mr. Jenkins. How are you?
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for coming in again. You filled out the intake forms completely and hopefully honestly. You filled out the depression, anxiety, and stress scale, which we use to determine your level of depression and anxiety if you have any. You also filled out the anxiety, promise, emotional distress scale, which is also another scale we use to determine your level of anxiety if you have any.
Okay.
And also a level 2 depression adult scale, which is another scale we use to determine your level of depression if you have any. Okay? So, I know you said you came in based on your intake forms. You said you came in because of some worrying and anxiety.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about that.
I was some worrying, worried a lot, just every day, the responsibilities at home, at work, and just kind of just going into one thing. And responsibility at work because I'm wondering if you're doing a good job.
Okay.
With management.
Okay.
And responsibilities at home where you have maintenance at the house that needs attention to.
Okay.
And just it's an urgency behind it.
Okay.
Just worrying because you know that it needs to get done, but you just worry because like it needs to get done right away. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, as far as fatherhood with your kids, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do in school. So that's just pretty much a lot of the worrying that I was experiencing.
Okay. So based on these scales, they're kind of pretty consistent with what you're telling me. Mm-hmm. You do have you scored moderate in the level of depression.
Oh wow!
You also scored pretty high to moderate in the level of anxiety.
Okay.
And the stress was also the stress was mild. But the two areas of concern was the depression and anxiety because you did score moderate in those areas. What, like I said, with the anxiety was really it was on the high side of moderate.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is consistent with what we've scored you in for your scales on your scales. So tell me about what do you expect to gain from your therapy sessions?
Just some advice of ways to handle it. Okay. Just some recommendations to how to handle it. I'm not an expert, or I don't know if maybe it's normal. Is it? It's nothing out there ordinary. I don't know. It's just seeking other ways to how to deal with it. So I think we had when we first met. You said about you had to take any medication, or at first I was hesitant about doing the therapy, but I'm definitely open-minded and interested because if it can help me, I'm all for it.
Okay. So you move from the hesitation of the treatment involved with therapy to being open to whatever could possibly help you in your current situation.
Yes.
Okay. So, looking at where you were the last time I saw you to where you are now, tell me about some of the changes you've experienced since then, good or bad.
Just a reflection, just from talking, and just knowing that being able to talk about it and not bottled up inside, I was able to kind of just, I guess you can say, feel relieved that you're not alone, that you're not by yourself, something that's not unusual, So I was able to feel a little bit better, and they was able to kind of look at it from a positive side, like maybe to seek help is a good thing. From saying it's a bad thing, just having that negative thinking, whereas you look at therapy as someone that's sick, and it's you can look at the positive side with something that can empower or inspire you. So that's what's pretty much the change that I've probably had since the last visit.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like there's been some growth and relief. Whereas not only were you worried about initially just the anxiety and the worry from your everyday life, you were also worried about the stigma related to seeing a therapist.
Yes,
And
yes,
yeah, and so now you're looking at, since the last time I saw you, you look at it as, oh, this is an opportunity for me to maybe get some advice or help, and you sound more relieved and more at ease and willing to accept maybe some recommendations so you can live a healthier life.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I know you were telling me more about the anxiety and the worrying that you're experiencing.
The anxiety is just expecting a lot that sometimes it could be unrealistic. You know, it's just always thinking what needs to get done,
Hmm.
and knowing that you only got two hands, there's only so much you can do. You just gotta really prioritize and just know if it don't get done, don't stress yourself out. It just don't get done. And at the same time, as on your job, you have management where you like to feel appreciated, you like to feel valued, and you know their leadership style doesn't make you feel valued. So when you look at it that way, you always have that in the back of your mind. Like, I wonder if I'm doing a good job. If I'm doing a good job, just tell me or something. But if you don't hear it, then it kind of can make you worry, you know. And then when you come home, you see stuff need to tend to the house. The kids got to get homework. It's just so much stuff from the day that got to be done. You don't really give yourself that time to kind of just unwind and kind of thinking like, okay, get myself together and stuff like that. It's just boom, 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 just nonstop, nonstop. So it's almost like you look at it like if I'm overreacting or if I'm just thinking negative or just looking at it in a negative mindset or just focusing on the wrong things, and that's what I get it from.
Okay. So it sounds like you have not only you feel overwhelmed at home with all of your at home responsibilities with children, your household maintenance, and anything else involved with your household responsibilities, but at work you feel devalued, and that brings on worrying. It brings on uncertainty, those type of feelings,
Yes,
and it adds to some of the worrying and stress that you do on, it sounds like, a daily basis.
yes, yes.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. um Previously, have you ever gone through this before?
Um, I could probably say I have. I've gone to it when I have a lot of stuff on my plate, like with old jobs and not only old jobs, but if I was in organizations and you have that role where you have responsibilities that everything that depends on you.
Hmm.
I don't think it was this magnitude though, because it's you know this one is real very important that you're it's almost like you're a major part of the engine. You looked at as the leader. So like you looked at as the leader. You can't show a sign of weakness, or you can't. They look to you as far as being a strong one. So it's like you have to be strong, even though you might be crumbling inside. So I think I have experienced it some, but just not to this magnitude. And it could be an adjustment, and it could be something that's just like a transition, or it could be I have experienced it to this magnitude, but just really focusing on now and just really just letting this just get the best of me. So I could probably say that.
Mm. So, would you have some uncertainty about your own feelings about what you're experiencing right now? It's almost as if, am I really this stressed out? Should I be worried about what I'm worried about? Opposed to looking at it and saying, okay, I am overwhelmed. So you kind of question how you feel and you don't trust your own feelings.
I guess you could say that. Yes.
Okay. Or um, maybe you are, well, let's look at it this way. I don't know if you've ever heard of the miracle question.
No.
Okay. Let's look at it this way. Say for instance, you had a long day at work. You come home. Work is the usual work. You don't feel valued. You're not getting validation from your superiors on how well of a job you're doing. And so you come home and things are what they are, and the kids and homework and household chores and everything gets done between that window when you're home and when it's time to go to bed, right? Things wind down at a certain time. You get in bed and you rest. You fall asleep. But during that sleeping period, all of your anxieties and worries they go away during that sleep period. So you get up the next day and those problems are gone. Tell me what that looks like for you.
I think just like peace. You get up and you think about it, and it's nothing to worry. It's like there's actually like a peace of mind. Just peace. Like wow, everything is done. It's nothing to worry. Everything that you was really focused on is just being handled. It's just already was handled. It was never a problem. So it's like I think that would be peace, like a peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. And what would that look like to you?
Awesome. That would be great. That would be really great. It's almost like I can get even 10 times more done if I had a peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be awesome.
Okay. So it sounds like you're looking more for the peace of mind than it is the chores or not being valued, because you said I can get 10 times more things done if I had that peace of mind.
Yes, if I had that peace of mind, I could get just 10 times because it's like won't have a thing to worry about. It's just it's done. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Done. So it's almost like you can focus more, on other stuff or stuff that you don't need to focus on. It just seemed like it's almost like a way that you'll grow more. When I say a peace of mind, that you will grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're growing, of course, people below you will grow. So.
Okay. Okay. It seems like even with you talking about that, if certain problems were lifted, you felt good just by even talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does that look like in your life to have no worries? What would a day look like for you to have no worries?
A day would be a good sleep. Sleep well. Get up nicely rested in the morning. Get your day together. Having a real good feeling about today. Like just having a real happy feeling. Like you're gonna make it a point to tell everybody good morning. Always having like making sure that each day every day you're empowering somebody where you won't be forgetful that it's a point that you're empowering somebody. So you're growing somebody. It's like you're lifting others as you grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and actually at home, you know, just being that real example of being strong and being strong inside. You know, just having that peace and being able to be attentive to your spouse. You know, being attentive as a father. You know, being self-validated. You know, not have to focus on getting it from others. Being having that self-confidence. You know, you have it, but just really showing in examples, having that self-confidence. So I think that's what my day would probably be like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So I'm glad you were able to articulate that. You did it very well.
Thank you.
I must say. Um, so I think that's what we're going to work on.
Okay.
We're going to work on how do you identify those areas in your life. Put a plan in place to where you can accomplish those things. Getting that sleep, being well rested, being able to pour into other people and motivate others, and also on the home front, being attentive to your family and your household responsibilities and chores, and how to identify what that means to you to be that for one, and then what steps you need to take in order to do that. And so we'll look at that and maybe some other things, and we'll get you going. If you're willing to work it, we can work it together.
Okay. So the recommendations would be like a plan. You say.
Yeah, we'll develop a plan. It'll be a plan that's realistic for you. It'll be customized for you and your situation. It'll be based on what you just told me about what you see as relieving your anxiety and worry, and how do you be who you want to be within your life.
Okay.
So we'll do that. So if you're on board and you're willing to come back for more sessions and work on what we put in place, then I'm all for it.
Awesome.
You can do that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you next session next Saturday, 10 a.m.
Sure, I'll be here.
All right.
Thank you.